Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday Hump Day live stream from Foundation Media. Scott Squires with you. And oh my goodness, I was chatting to these guys a couple of minutes ago before we came on live, and I think we're going to have a good little bit. I don't know how long this is going to go, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Could be an hour if all these guys decide that they want to start needling on the coach. But let's bring in members of the 2014 Nova Scotia Eastlink Major Midget Hockey League champs, the Atlantic champs, and they went to the Telus Cup in Moose Jaw. Some of the alumni from the Halifax Macs 2014. How you doing, guys?
Great.
Real good.
Good. All right, so let's go around the horn here. We'll start at the top in the middle and just tell me your name, how many years you played for the Macs, and where you physically are located right now, other than your living room or your house. All right, go ahead, Barrett.
My name's Barrett Dachyshyn. Played for the Macs for 2 years. In my first year, we went to Telus. Right now, I'm at my girlfriend's house in Bedford.
Nice. All right, Nick.
Lover boy. I'm Nick Ormon. I played 2 years for the Macs. I'm currently at my girlfriend's too in Herring Cove, so I can't really.
There you go.
Lover boy squared.
Yeah, exactly.
Carter Piercy, let's go to you, sir.
Hi, my name's Carter. I'm currently in my apartment, which I live with my girlfriend, and I played for the Titans affiliated 1 year and the Macs 1 year.
Nice. Morgan Nauss.
I played for the Macs in the 13-14 season. I'm down in Wolfville, and I'll keep the girlfriend thing going. We both so.
Apparently, I'm the only one here that's not cohabitating because I know that, Coach, you're married. So, Coach Tim Boyce, tell us all about it, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not with my girlfriend. I'm at my wife's house.
Oh,
He was at his girlfriend.
Yes.
That's good news for all involved. I can edit that out on the replay later on.
I just got a look from her.
Really appreciate all you guys coming and hanging out. Take a little walk down memory lane. Let's reminisce about that 2014 championship season with the Halifax Macs. You guys won the Nova Scotia championship by beating who was it you played in? Newbridge Academy, 4-1. You went to the Atlantics in Pictou. You defeated the St. John Vitoes in that final game, and then you went off to the Telus Cup in Moose Jaw. Coach, let's go to you first. Give me a couple of real fond memories of that 2014 campaign.
You know what? Just probably the most dominant team I've coached in 7 years with the Macs. You know, I can remember there was nights where we just didn't play well and still came out of the rink with a couple goals win. Just a deep group, and I thought we were really physically dominating. We were a tough team to play against. I don't think teams really enjoyed playing against us that year.
And I know I've done a podcast with you the last 2 seasons with the Halifax Macs. And one of the questions I like to ask you, especially as the season goes along, is when did you start to know what this team could be? With that 2014 team, when did you start to know that this team could be something special?
July. Yeah, I kind of had the feeling that we were going to have a real solid team just based on the guys that were coming back and the guys that we were able to pick up as territorial picks that year. We got some really good first years combined with some really good returning players that year. So.
Let's go now up to the top in the middle. Barrett Dachyshyn. What are your memories of that 2014 run?
Like Tim said, we had a lot of returning guys. I think we had like 10 third years, so obviously that helped our depth a lot. Probably one of the best memories was winning the Nova Scotia championship. I think Justin Duernon scored short-handed in overtime to win, and just climbing the boards there and just celebrating with all the boys was pretty fun.
Very cool indeed. Let's go to the top right corner, Nick Ormon. I'm afraid to ask, but what are your fondest memories of that 2014 run?
Kind of like Tim said, like it's kind of silly how good we were. To be honest with you, like we could, like Tim said, we could play terrible for the first and second period, and then we go on the intermission and be like, okay, guys, let's probably turn it on now, and like it would be like 3-1, and we'd win 5-3. It'd be silly. So that whole year was kind of like that, and then going back to the Newbridge series, I think we won game 1, they won game 2, and they're like, okay, let's just win now. And then the next 3 games, like they were close games, but I think we all kind of knew we were going to win. So it was pretty sweet.
And we'll go down to the just below you there. It's almost like Hollywood Squares. If you're old enough, I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about. Google it. But Hollywood Squares, that's what we kind of got going on here right now. Let's go down to the bottom right there. How about yourself, Carter Piercy? Give me a couple of fond memories.
I mean, we had just the start of the season to begin with. I think we started on like a 14-game winning streak or something like that. Something ridiculous. Like nobody could beat us. Like nobody could come anywhere near us. And just that last game, like Barrett said, I mean, I remember us getting that penalty and thinking, oh crap, like this is going to game 6. Like this isn't looking good. Like didn't have the best positive thoughts in my head. And then literally like a minute into the penalty, Justin scores and like, okay, we're going to Atlantics now.
Morgan, the man in the middle down below. Let's hear it from you, man. What do you got for us, memory-wise?
Yeah, I think we were just a really close team, and for sure, I'd have to say the Newbridge series definitely stands out the most for me. Just beating Dartmouth is by far was the best thing about midget hockey. Those games were always the biggest and always the most fun. And yeah, that's what I'd have to say was my biggest memory.
Yeah, and it's so neat because you guys will always have that bond of being those champions and going to the Nationals. And we talked about the Nationals, the Telescope being in Moose Jaw, and I'm not sure what this means. You guys can chime in and let me know.
What do you say about Moose Jaw? I don't really know.
The only thing that comes to mind when I say Moose Jaw is the snowbirds.
I think of Juice Maw.
Yeah, Juice Maw.
Do it for the snowbirds every game.
Yeah, that's what
I know.
every game.
What is tacos in a bag?
Yeah, tacos in a bag was
The canteen?
like a specialty in the canteen out there. They would take a bag of Doritos and they would cut the bag of Doritos open sideways and they would dump hamburger and sour cream and peppers and all this stuff into the bag of chips and then hand it to you with a fork. And basically, like it was. I guess it's one of the big sellers at the rink out there. So, Fuji and I actually had an idea that we were going to start selling them downtown Halifax after hours on Argyle Street.
There's a spot downtown that has it now.
We thought we might make a good amount of money off of it.
Listen, there's been a couple of days in the middle of the afternoon during this whole self-isolation thing where after a couple of adult beverages, I would have been down for a tacos in a bag like you just explained. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And now we just heard from Cliff Blair, and of course, Shyla wanted to pop in and say hello. So there's your chance to say hello to Shyla.
Hi,
Shyla.
Good evening, Shyla.
Now, I get to ask current members of the Macs what Cliff and Shyla mean, but again, I'll just go around quickly and just give me, your thoughts and your memories of being around Cliff and Shyla. We'll start off with Carter this time.
For me, like I have a more recent memories with Cliff and Shyla because I've volunteered with the Excel team the past few years, and they do the timekeeping with them. And even before every game, they're just talking to me about the old times and how much they love still being around the rink. And even Shyla's been doing this long before we were even involved with the team, and she still loves coming to the rink and helping out the kids. It's just how much they love being there for the kids and just doing it for the kids. That's what they're there for, and it's really appreciative when you see them 5 years later and they still remember your name and want to chat with you and see how you're doing.
Yeah, that's really cool. We'll go over to the middle now. What about you, Morgan?
Yeah, really like Cooper said, they're both very friendly people, and everybody who's gone through the Max organization, they've done so much for everybody. And I just think I don't see them as much anymore, but still when I go to the rink, when I go to the Civic or the Forum, and you always see them around, and it's really a friendly face to see, and it's great to see them.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go up. Nick, how about yourself?
Yeah, they were both really good. Like, I don't think really anyone really understands how much work they do. Like, Cliff makes us all cakes. Like, I don't know. I think he still does that. So, like, every time someone's birthday, there's always cakes popping out. Even, I don't know if Boyster gets cakes now or not. He probably doesn't need them, but Timmy Walsh got some. So. But, yeah.
Fair statement. Fair. That's fair.
You can't say enough good things about them.
Nick, I'm just wondering when I can check out your comedy special. When does it drop on Netflix?
September.
Okay, cool.
We'll see. Yeah, September.
I'll watch The Last Dance, and then when that's done, I'll look for your comedy special for sure. How about
Perfect.
you? How about you, Barrett? Couple of thoughts on Shyla and Cliff. Big
Just a quick comment on the cake there. I was the first person to get a cake. So
Okay, not a big deal or anything, eh?
yeah, kind of cool. And but I mean, Cliff and Shyla, like they're always there early before the games, setting up and getting ready to try to put on the best performance for the games when it comes to the music or anything that the team needs help with. And just the amount of volunteer hours that they actually put into the Macs is incredible. And they take the time to talk with you and see how you're doing. And I watched that video you had with Cliff the other day, and just the room that he has downstairs just shows how much he cares about the team and how much the team means to him.
Yeah, now give me a second here because you just referenced it, so that's a great segue. A couple of you know what's coming, a couple of you don't, but let me see what I got here. Let's see.
Oh, jeez.
What is this?
God. Oh man.
He knows.
I forgot about this, honestly.
I gotta start choosing my friends a little better. Oh man.
You continue well.
Man, who has this video still?
Bit of a glow on paper.
Oh my god.
We're not done.
The kids who left. Oh my god.
What kind of memories does that bring back? First, let me go to you, Coach.
I was deathly ill that weekend. I think that was Atlantic in Pictou, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, like I had the worst cold flu. I think I missed the last game in the round robin. I was that sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was roller coaster weekend. I remember the final against St. John. I think we were down going into the third. And I think it was either Johnny Jones or Luke Poirier or something. I can't remember.
Twice.
Johnny scored twice, and put us ahead. And there was a controversial goal or something there too. And I know St. John was really angry about it. I can't quite remember what it was, but yeah, it was just it was a crazy weekend.
Now, there's quite a crew of you in that video, and 6 years is not that long ago, but it kind of is when you go from being 16, 17, 18 into your early 20s or whatever. As each of you look back at that and see all of that youthful enthusiasm and singing Let's Hear It for Tim Boyce, well done, by the way. What are some of the things that instantly pop back to your mind just about that minute and about those friends? Let's start with you, Barrett.
I guess just the camaraderie we had as a team. I mean, everyone seemed to enjoy everyone's presence, and no one didn't not like each other, if you know what I mean. So I feel like we really meshed well together, had a good amount of first, second, and third years, and it just made it really easy for everyone to get along.
Very cool. Now, Nick, as you were watching that, what popped into your mind?
I think Barrett nailed it. Like, we were all just so close. Like, I think there was 9 to correct Barrett. I think there's 9 third years and like 8 first years and then 3 second years. So we were all close. Like, it was just crazy, like, thinking about how 15-year-olds and 18-year-olds, like, usually they don't really hang out, but we were all so close no matter what. In that video, I completely forgot. So it's nice to see that again, to be honest with you.
That is very cool. It was a really neat thing to see. I'm still like, I would almost like to get a couple of freeze frames of Coach and make memes, but I won't. What about you, Carter? What was running through your mind when you were watching that video?
Just the same thing. We were such a close bunch of guys, and we like to have fun. We did the business when we needed to, but we like to have fun. Took care of business.
And how about you, Morgan?
Yeah, we were a really close team. I think everybody did get along, and Just looking back on that, it's crazy to think it's been 5 or 6 years back to when some of us were in grade 10 to 12, and just brings back good memories, and I'll hopefully remember them for a long, long time.
Now, Coach, you get to be around a lot of different players year in and year out, but when you see a video like that and you think about what it was like in that 2014 season going all the way to nationals, but when you see that video, what's a couple of things that comes to mind?
I didn't know what to think at the time, to be honest with you. I was, like I said, I think I had just gotten up because I was that sick, and the videos, it was nice. I mean, to me, I'm just a small piece of the puzzle. I think, it's 90% the players and 10% coaching as far as I'm concerned. And, those guys, that was my first year coaching the team. So, I mean, I remember, and I said it to somebody a while back, like, I just remember the nerves that I had in that first year as a coach, because we were expected to win. And, I feel like these guys kind of took me under their wing a little bit and took the whole coaching staff for a ride. So it was a special year for sure.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Hockey brings you together, and depending on what level you get to, you think about what the next steps in hockey might be. And some players go beyond major, midget, and play at other levels, and then beyond. Sometimes it doesn't pan out, and you go off into other areas. Let me just go around again and ask each of you guys what you're doing now, what kind of relationship that you still have with hockey, and what you're doing, whether it's school, work, whatever. Just kind of give us a 2020 update on where things are with you guys. Let's go down to the middle and start off with Morgan.
Right now, I'm actually this last year I played at Acadia University. It was a different year for me. I had a few injuries and only got to play about 20 games or so, but it was really fun. It was definitely different and huge learning experience starting school and everything. And I'm really excited for the next 3 years here for sure.
Yeah, great program down there at Acadia. There's no question about it. We certainly wish you continued success as you make your way through Acadia. How about for you, Carter? What's going on with you in 2020, other than the rest of us self-isolating?
I'm just working right now. I work at Manulife right now as a case manager, managing short-term absence claims. I was volunteering with the Excel team for the past few years as an athletic trainer. I haven't played hockey since 2017 when I played junior B in Newfoundland. I wasn't quite as good as these guys to keep going, so
we all end
not
up
really playing hockey anymore.
Now, listen, just because I'm a Newfoundlander originally from St. John's, where did you play your junior B in Newfoundland?
In Southern Shore.
Oh, not down the South Shore. Southern Shore.
Yes. Down to the shore, by.
Down to Southern Shore.
Down the shore.
Down to shore. Come on, Bay Roberts, score some more. That was an excellent
Yeah, we were the first team in Southern Shore to win provincials there.
That is awesome. Well, again, as a native Newfoundland and Labradorian, it's always cool to make some kind of connection back to my home province. All right, Nick, fill us in, man. What's up?
Not much. Last year, I was coaching with the Nova Scotia Admirals. It's a minor midget team. So I finished my junior career 2009, 2020, and that was it. So then I helped actually Tony McCarthy, who coached us during 2014. Whenever we won, I think it was 2013, 2014. Yeah, I coached with him. So it was pretty fun. Full circle.
Very cool indeed. So there you go, Coach. You groomed a future coach.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. He had an answer for everything when I coached him. So.
Yeah, whatever. It was more bougie.
Yeah.
How about you, Barrett? Bring us up to date on what's happening with you in 2020.
So this past year, I was at St. Mary's trying to upgrade some courses. Haven't done too well in school in the past few years. But that's so actually a pretty good couple semesters. And this fall coming up, I'm just waiting to hear back on admission, but I'll be heading up to U Windsor, playing on their team there.
Wow, awesome. Good for you. Congratulations. And
Nice.
I've talked about it with Coach before and other players, current members of the Macs, but I'm going back to when I was younger, and I'm way older than all you guys, including you, Coach. But the Halifax Macs were always an iconic franchise. You knew those colors, you knew that M on the jersey, and they had a swag about them. And it's always interesting to talk to each of the players that play for the Macs, what it meant to them the first time that they pulled on a Macs jersey. So I'll do the same thing. I'll start with you, Barrett. What do you remember about the first time you pulled on those colors and actually hit the ice to take your first shift?
Well, I was thinking pretty nice jerseys. I was always a fan of the Calgary Flames jerseys. No, but you just like even growing up, coming up through Halifax, everyone knows who the Macs are, and even when they switched to the Titans, I would still follow the midget team, and it was pretty cool to see them go back to the Macs in 2014. That's when we played, and just kind of restart the tradition was a pretty cool feeling. And I mean, what better way to start a tradition by winning provincials, winning Atlantics, and representing Atlantic Canada at TELUS Cup. So, yeah.
And what was your welcome to Major Midget moment?
Oh, geez.
Whether it's first shift, first hit, something like that.
I guess when all the third years tried to be intimidating, I guess that was your welcome to midget moment. Because the amount of third years we had, they'd at the beginning of the year they might have ganged up a little bit on the rookies or something. But that's probably just me, easy to pick on. But
No.
Yeah, well, more so like when the third years are just like, oh yeah, you're a rookie, blah blah blah. But it was all fun, and I don't regret any of it.
No, it's neat stories indeed. And what about for you, Nick? Do you remember the first time that you pulled on that sweater to actually go play a game?
Yeah. I was in. We didn't have it for preseason or like the early bird. That was in Cape Breton, I think Port Hood. The first time it was in Cole Harbour, and I think we won the game. Obviously, we won. We were 14-game win streak. It's not a big deal. But my first welcome to midget moment was Boucher in practice. So I think I gave him 2 bad passes right in a row, and then it was like a regroup drill. So like I was supposed to pass him, then he'd regroup and dump it in. So he dumped in my corner and just laid me out like before. So. And at that time, it was only 5'6", 140 pounds, and he was a man at 6'2", like 200 pounds. So it kind of hurt. But hey, welcome to midget, Nick.
Listen, you're still smiling. That's a great welcome to midget. Let's go down to the middle there, Morgan. Again, just your memories of pulling on that jersey for the first time to go play, and you're welcome to Major Midget moment.
I'd say the first time I really remember playing for the Macs was definitely that Port Hood tournament. Yeah, we didn't have the jerseys, but I just remember that experience. It was like your first taste of midget hockey, and I was just really excited for the year to get started. And each day moving forward from there on out just kept getting better. We just kept winning, and winning always makes everything better. So I enjoyed every second of that year, and I'm always going to remember being a Mac.
Really cool indeed. And what about for you, Carter? Memories of pulling on that Macs jersey the first time, and kind of your welcome to Major Midget moment, whatever it was.
I mean, it was just, happy to be a part of the tradition, be back playing Major Midget again. I was excited to, do my last year at Midget, playing Major Midget. My welcome to Midget moment was when I was in first year trying out for the Titans at the time. They didn't have all the returning players in spring ID camp. And then those who made summer were in a scrimmage with the returning players, and I went to hit. I believe it was John Mullally. I thought, this guy's not that big. I could easily smoke him, and he put me on my ass pretty quickly.
He set you straight.
Yeah, he's pretty thick.
Yeah.
And Coach, let me go to you. I mean, obviously, there's kind of 2 separate relationships that you have with players. There's that coach relationship where you've kind of got to be that taskmaster and follow along your coaching strategy, whatever that is. But there's also the side where you kind of have to befriend these players and connect with them. Tell me a little bit about each of these players and what you remember about them when you first met them, first saw them play, that made an impression with you about whether it was their personality, their style, or whatever. So I'll bring you up, and then I'll ask you first of all to do that with Barrett.
Barrett, just I remember a big, gangly kid that skated exceptionally well for his size, had a lot of intelligence. I remember we played him. I think we were playing with Hickey and was it Hickey and Grant for the majority of the year? Yeah, Hickey and Grant for the majority of the year. They were kind of our fourth line, energy line, if you want to call him a fourth line. But he was easy to talk to, easy to coach. I think he was pretty intelligent, so the game kind of came easy to him in that sense.
Not bad, Barrett.
Yeah, just a comment on Jacob and Cody there. I was the third wheel to the Nova Scotia Major Midget Couple of the Year. So
Yeah, they were pretty inseparable.
I've been a third wheel many times, Barrett. I feel you.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, oh man, it was a time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. All right, Coach, give me the same thing, but with Nick.
Coach is always it's funny. We would talk in the dressing room. After we're talking to Nick, we'd come into the coach's room and we'd be like, are we talking to a 26-year-old here? Like, who are we talking to right now? Like, we just felt like we were talking to a guy that was like twice his age. Came in as a first-year guy and played exceptionally well. Moved the puck well, thought the game well, skated well. But yeah, I think that's the one thing that I remember is just we would always laugh in the dressing room after talking to him because we always felt like we were talking to like somebody who was like in their mid-20s.
Benjamin Button backwards.
Yeah.
What about same thing now? We'll put Carter in the hot seat.
I remember when we were picking the defense, you just saw this guy that was just wanted to destroy everybody in the corners. Super, super intense all the time. And you know what? Like, ended up being a big piece of that championship team because he was hard to play against. And I know other players in the league just despise playing against him because he would, anytime you got within an arm's length of him, he was definitely going to try and put you into the boards. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. He's just a big mucker.
I can say again, being a Newfoundlander, they would have loved you down the.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
And same thing, Morgan.
Smooth skater, super quiet. Obviously had him for 1 year. Super quiet. Again, I think really intelligent, moved the puck really well. Just one of the guys that came to the rink and kind of did his job and went home. So it was really easy to coach him.
Easy to coach. That's pretty high praise. Now, I'm going to reverse it a little bit. I won't get them to go into detail, but guys, from your impressions of Coach when you first met him, being coached that year in particular, we are here talking about the 2014 team, but just a couple of words to sum up Coach Tim Boyce.
I know where you guys live.
I don't know. Boyce was an awesome coach. I thought he knew a lot about the game, really cared about how we practice, intensity, doing the little things right, and it proved out in the long run as it showed. Also, I think he did a really good job of getting the older guys to commit because a lot of times you get third-year guys and second-year guys that don't want to be there. Maybe they want to go play high school instead, but he got these third-year guys to come back and buy in, and it proved us all well.
And Morgan?
Well, I think Tim was a great coach. Coming to the rink every day was always fun. Practices, I felt like I learned going to the rink every time. And I think it just got me ready for more hockey as I moved forward, for sure.
Carter?
Just the effort he puts in. You can tell he's studying the game a lot. He's always doing film and learning new drills and whatnot. And
here we go, Nick.
I think Carter just nailed it. Like, that was the biggest difference, like, coming from like a Bantam coach and going to Timmy. Like, he just very detailed, and like you can tell never doing film before from Bantam going to midget and then doing film all the time and making sure we're always learning. Like Tim said, like, we were so good, like we probably didn't even need to do that, but like it's just good that we did. So obviously it helped out. And what Barrett, to touch on with that, I thought he kept the third years kind of in check too, to make sure they were all mingling with each other. And I think that's what led to us being so close, was him kind of like keeping a watch on us.
Yeah, that's important. You got to be able to bridge that gap between the senior guys and the new guys, the rookies coming in for sure. Now, I got to go to a close-up here, Coach, to see if there's a tear in the eye. Got to know.
might be blushing. I might be blushing a little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And listen, guys, we're going to wrap up here in a second, but obviously with what's going on globally with this pandemic and basically everything being shut down, but for all of us, we miss sports. I know we all miss sports on whatever level, whether it's playing, participating, watching. Everyone's trying to find out something to do to stay busy. Luckily, I have the Con Air for men. I've been self-cutting hair for years, so I don't miss out anything there. But what are you guys doing to stay busy, to occupy your time? Morgan, what about you? What are you doing to kind of just not go nuts?
Well, I've been doing a couple of runs lately. I'm not much of a runner.
Liquor store runs.
I've been getting a little sore. Walking's been a little harder lately, but I'm just trying to stay busy and get outside.
A couple runs.
Big jogger.
Not too far.
Big run guy.
Wow. But no.
I don't know you all that well, Morgan, but it would appear to me that your former teammates are thinking that you're probably not much of a jogger.
Katie, a track team in the fall?
Huh?
Katie, a track team in the fall?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe changing routes.
And the more I see this, if I look at it quickly, Barrett, it's almost like you're in a Game of Thrones kind of thing there with whatever's behind you. But what have you been doing to just occupy your time and to stay busy, and whether it's home workouts, going for walks, whatever?
Yeah, I've been working out at home. Fortunate enough that my dad has got a pretty good setup going on at home. We got dumbbells, barbells, exercise bike, treadmill. And also we purchased a property out in Indian Harbor by Peggy's Cove, and we're building a cottage out there. So spending a lot of time out there, just kind of building from the ground up. So it's been good to learn from that side of the workforce as well.
That's very cool. Now, you referenced your dad. I'll get you to tell the story real quick that you told me just before we went live. Your dad, Dachyshyn, played for a long time. But tell me that story about that video that you saw of him the other day that you hadn't seen before.
Yeah, it's, I know my dad's always been an intimidating guy, but I didn't know how scary he was on the ice. So I saw a video from, I think it's 1984 or something. It was the Nova Scotia Oilers playing I think it was Moncton. I don't know the name of the team, sorry. And it was a line brawl with about 10 seconds left in the game. And the video just shows my dad kind of having a hold of a guy by the jersey. And then the camera pans away. And you hear a big smack. Camera pans back to my dad. And he's got this guy ragdolled on the ice. And he's knocked out. And he's just trying to get him back up. And then I show him the video. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I remember that." And then talked about it for another 10 minutes, wouldn't shut up, and knew it word for word, or like sequence to sequence. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the goalies went and fought after this." And when goalies went and fought. So
listen, I'm a dad. Anytime you can have a moment where you can kind of puff up your chest and brag a little bit to your kids, that's a great thing. I saw your dad play back in those American Hockey League days at the then Metro Center, and he had grit, man. He was one guy that you did not want to get into the corners with, that's for sure. So that's a really cool story. That's neat.
Yeah.
What about you, Nick? What are you doing to kind of just keep yourself busy, occupied?
First of all, can we imagine Barrett swinging a hammer? Like, big carpenter? Holy shit. Oh, sorry, you can't swear, but oh my God, that's funny. I haven't been doing much. My girlfriend's been playing a lot of cards. I'm learning to play crib. Pretty fun game. Been working out. Her sister's pretty into fitness, so we kind of built like a little home gym, and they got a barbell and stuff. So just getting the chest big for summer. Hopefully we can go out, and then that's about it. Cards, and that's it.
I should let you know that I'm really big into fitness, like fitness sandwich in my mouth and fitness chips in my mouth. Big into fitness.
Dad joke.
Of course, I got to work on my material. My kids
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And let's go down to you, Carter. What are you doing to kind of keep yourself busy and not go shack wacky?
I'm working 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. Just working from home, and then getting ready for golf season. I'm always touching my clubs or putting or something. I'm very antsy to get out on the golf course.
Yeah, I see the cabin sweater there.
Yeah.
Now, golf.
Shut up, Barrett.
Surface doesn't lend itself to intensity like hockey does. Are you an intense golfer?
Yes.
I could see you miss a putt and you're just
happy.
I'm trying to get better, but I've thrown. I may have thrown a club 1 or 2 times in my day.
That's what I was looking for right there. And I know that we've had an opportunity to talk, over the last few weeks during all of this. But I know you mentioned that you're back to work now. You've got that facial hair gone. But tell me, have you come up with any other things to keep you busy around the house, Coach?
No, like it's been yard work and yeah, like I've been watching a lot of hockey games on hockey TV. I know it sounds embarrassing, but
Your Twitter game's gotten better, I see, though.
I appreciate
Yeah, you had a good one today. A lot of likes.
He's pretty active on Facebook too.
Appreciate that.
Nice.
I don't know how to work Facebook, so I can't see on that.
Well, you could barely get on this call, so I'm not surprised.
Whatever. I'm on it. I figured it out.
This is the material that I'm here for. This is good. Now, listen, guys, before we wrap up here, I just want to give a promo, actually, of something that I'm doing tomorrow, 2:30 Atlantic. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be bringing on Carly Jackson. Carly, well-known in hockey circles in Nova Scotia. She's also played for baseball in Nova Scotia, played for the University of Maine, just got drafted 3rd overall by the Buffalo Buttes in the NWHL. I'm just going to put this up on screen here for a minute and, go around. Let's start off, Carter. I don't know if you know Carly, you don't know of her, but maybe just, give her a couple of words of encouragement for getting that 3rd overall pick.
Just congratulations on that. That's a huge accomplishment, and hopefully she can continue to represent Nova Scotia well.
Morgan?
Yeah, that's unreal to see. Just keep learning every day, and that's an unbelievable accomplishment.
Nick?
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome. I didn't even know that was that recent. So yeah, good for you, and good luck with the future.
And Barrett?
Yeah, congratulations, Carly. Just one of the top female goaltenders come out of the province, which is good to see.
Very cool indeed. And Coach?
Yeah, congrats. I think female hockey is just growing and growing, and the game is getting better and better, and it's really quality hockey. So it's good to see. It's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having Carly on tomorrow again, 2:30 Atlantic time on these same channels that you're watching it on now. Listen, guys, we'll wrap up here, but quickly, the last thing before we go, I'll go around the horn again. I'll start in the top, the middle, go around, and we'll end with Coach. But just a word or two to sum up that entire 2014 season with the Macs. Barrett?
It's pretty surreal, to be honest. I don't want to go too into detail, but I remember we were playing Okanagan in Moose Jaw, the TELUS Cup, and we were down 4-1 going to the 3rd, and they switched their goalie for some reason, and we didn't know why, because they wanted to give their starting goalie a break, and we scored 4 goals in the 3rd period and beat them 5-4, and that coach got fired after the TELUS Cup.
Wow.
Didn't he come up and apologize to Tim and say we weren't doing it on purpose or something like
that? He did, yeah. Because the guy they put in the net hadn't seen a minute of action in the TELUS Cup until that point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Probably didn't see him in it after either.
Listen, that is a great story. That's a great memory. What about for you, Nick? Just, kind of a couple of things just to sum up that whole experience, 2014.
Yeah, Barrett said it's surreal. It's just crazy. Thinking about it, I haven't really given much thought until Tim reached out on Monday, but we were just stupid good. That's the only way I can describe it. It was silly how good we were. Not even realizing that year when we're 15, you don't really realize what you're getting into. And then we come out, like Carter said, 14-0, and then that it just kept going and kept going. And then we come to playoffs, we win. We actually lost to Cape Breton, I think, and then not to go into detail, but we lost 2 games to Cape Breton. We won 4-2, and then I forget who we played in the 2nd round. But anyways, it's just crazy. We were just so good. It really didn't matter. I think we all knew by that time we're gonna win. So.
And Morgan.
Yeah, just something I'm never gonna forget. I'm about every day, but you look back, you might see the Atlantic strings that you have in your room, and just memories come rushing back, and it's something that I'll be thinking about for a long time.
Yeah, Carter, for the rest of your life, Carter?
Yeah, it's surreal, that bond you have. I know I see a few guys downtown here and there, and you're always, having a beer with one another, talking about the good times, and that you never lose that memory of how old you'll get.
And last word to you on that, Coach.
Yeah, I think it was 3 points really that season. The atmosphere in the Civic when we did beat Newbridge in overtime was probably, and to this day, probably one of the best atmospheres I've coached in midget. The comeback in Pictou against St. John was great. And then Barrett's point about beating Okanagan on the comeback, that was pretty wild too. I just remember the dressing room after the game, how pumped up the guys were. It was pretty wild. And 1 point on that actually is the goalie that went in the net for Okanagan. Somebody told me years after the fact that I believe it's J.P. Barry, the player agent in the NHL. It was his son that went into the net. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So yeah, there's just 3 points that just really stuck out in my mind that year that were kind of really cool moments that I don't think I'll forget. So.
Well, I certainly won't forget this cool moment having all of you guys on to talk about the 2014 championship run and all the great memories that you guys built and the bonds that you forged together. Thank you very much to Coach Boyce, Tim, for getting these guys together. And thank you to each of you, Barrett Dachyshyn, Nick Ormon, Carter Piercy, Morgan Nauss, and of course, Coach Tim Boyce. Thank you very much, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Be well, be safe, and as I always like to say at the end of all these, wash your hands, okay?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Scott.
Good to see you guys.
See you later,
See you
boys.
later.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll do this again soon. Bye for now.